Hello and welcome to the Clat YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about something very fascinating, which are X-rays, and a very interesting mission called Mission XPoSat by ISRO, India Space Agency. But don't worry, we'll keep it super simple. So you can see over here that on the 1st of January 2024, XPoSat satellite launch was launched successfully by the Indian Space Research Organization. Now, the very first thing that we have to keep in mind is what are X rays, right? So, X rays are a type of light, but they are obviously not the kind that our eyes can see. They have super high energy and super short wavelengths, even smaller than atoms. So, imagine them to be super tiny waves of energy. So, here's a cool thing: the temperature of an object decides what kind of X rays it emits. So the hotter something is, the shorter the wavelength of the X rays it gives off. Now, if we talk about polarized light, now X rays usually have waves that are, going all over the place. But polarized lights are special. It has waves that move in just one direction, right? And if something is moving in one direction, think of it as an organized light. So, usually, for example, fishermen use special glasses with polarized lenses to block out the glare from the sun when they are near water. Now, if I talk about the field of polarimetry, so scientists study the polarized light using something called polarimetry, which measures how much the light waves twist when they pass through something in very simple language. So basically, the field studies the measurement of the angle of rotation of the plane of polarized light that results upon its passage through certain transparent materials, or in very simple language, the way the light waves are twisting when they pass through certain things. Now let's talk a little bit about XPoSat, which is this exciting space mission by ISRO. It is all about studying X-rays from space, right? So now this is what is Mission XPoSat, right? So what is the full form? X-ray polarimeter satellite. Now we have already understood what is the purpose of a polarized light and what is polarimetry. Polarimetry is basically the study of polarized light. And why do we study this polarized light? Because it is sort of more organized than X rays, which usually have waves that are going all over the place, right? Okay. So now this particular mission has two payloads. The first one is the Indian X-ray polarimeter, and the second is the X-ray spectroscopy timing, or XPECT, right? So they have been built by Raman Research Institute and UR Rao Satellite Center. And both of these organizations are based out of Bangalore. We will talk about both these organizations and when were they made, who is the director, all of that will come later. But first, let's talk about these two payloads, right? So, what is basically their purpose? So, the first one is Polix and the second one is Expect. So, let's talk about the first one, right? The first one is Indian X-ray polarimeter, like I just told you, and it is the world's first instrument designed to study medium energy X-rays, right? So, what will it study? It is the world's first instrument to study medium energy X-rays, which is 8 to 30 kilo electron volt, right? Who has built it, and where was it made? Where was it conceived? This was all done at the Raman Research Institute. And we'll talk about the Raman Research Institute in some time. Now, what is this Polex going to do? It is going to measure the polarimetry parameters, specifically the degree, the angle of polarization, right? That is something that you can keep in mind. And the second one is called expect, like I just told you, right? So X-ray spectroscopy and timing, also known as expect. This one will help the scientists gather a lot of interesting data about the X-ray sources, specifically in a soft X-ray energy range, which is around this band, right? 0.8 to 15, and you can see over here, this is 8 to 30. So the combination of both of these payloads will allow for a very comprehensive analysis of X-ray astronomy capabilities, right? Now, if we talk about this particular mission and we compare it with the X-ray experiments which have happened in the past in India or globally, before that, of course, two more things that you should ideally keep in mind is that this mission XPoSat is in the low Earth orbit, and the estimated life of this entire mission is 5 years, right? So we missed out on that. So that is why I came back to this particular slide. So we should know that it is going to be there for 5 years. And during this time, it will observe things such as neutron stars when they pass through Earth's shadow, like during an eclipse. Now let's try to compare it with other X-ray experiments or global missions that have happened in the past. So you see, before XPoSat, Indian astronomers used something called AstroSat, right? And to study X-ray sources. But they couldn't really check out the X-ray polarization because they did not have the equipment for that. So imagine that it was almost like they had a super cool camera, but no zoom lens, right? So XPoSat mission fixes that problem. It is now giving a sort of like a zoom lens for you and making things even more clearer for us scientists. If we talk about NASA, then I mean, of course, this is India's first polarimetry mission. But if we talk about globally, this is the second one because the first one was done by NASA in 2021. NASA launched a mission called the Imaging X-ray Polarimetry Explorer. Right, so you should ideally know the name and obviously the year too, right? So this was to study X-ray polarization too, but it was in a very different energy range, right? So there you have it. X-rays are amazing, and missions such as XPoSat help us to unlock the secrets of the universe. And other important points that you must keep in mind, keep from a competitive examination perspective, is the first thing is the launch vehicle, which is PSLV C58. The launch date, of course, we've already, oh wow, the launch date is 1st January 2024. Then is the launch site is Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh. Low Earth orbit is something that we've already spoken about. Apart from that, there were two organizations that we spoke of, so let's know a little bit about them. Raman Research Institute was established in 1948 by the Nobel laureate Sir C.V. Raman. And as of now, the director is Tarun Soradeep. And the headquarter, of course, as I mentioned before, is Bangalore. If we talk about the U.R. Rao Satellite Center, it was founded in 1976. The director is Shri M. Shankaran. And of course, the headquarter against is Bangalore. So that is all from my end. I'll see you tomorrow with a new